Ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, proudly presents to you another fantastic episode of 15 Minutes of Fandom. That's right, that's where we take the spotlight and place it on one wrestling fan that we feel currently stands out from the rest. So with that being said, I'm your host, that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. 3 continents down, 3 more to go. No cap, straight facts, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about me. See, we have a special guest tonight who I actually met myself on Twitter. She's actually a wrestling fan, and she's actually based in the great state of North Carolina. Shout out to all my North Carolina peeps. Love that good food. Love that Southern hospitality. Everybody, welcome to the show. B Gamble. How you doing tonight, miss?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I'm just here, vibing right now for the new year. We just had our season premiere, and you know, here we are right now. So how's everything in North Carolina?
Uh, um, it's okay. It's kind of cool. It's cold now, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
okay. Yeah,
Only okay. Man, when I was in Jacksonville, man, when I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina, I was like, it's nice, it's chill, it's whatnot. It's a small town, but it was pretty. It was a pretty good vibe. It wasn't too
yeah.
far from Wilmington. It wasn't too far from Raleigh, which is another one of my favorite spots. But
Raleigh's
yeah,
one of your favorites?
yeah, I love it. So Raleigh actually has one of my favorite restaurants there too. It's called The Pit. If you love
Yeah.
barbecue, I would definitely recommend it. It's on Davy Lane, I believe is what
Yeah.
the street's called. And I used to like go there. I'd get dinner over there or lunch or whatever. And then right next to it, there was an arcade and bar. I don't know if it's still
hmm
there. It's called the Boxcar Arcade.
hmm
When I'm done having my fill of food, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go have some drinks and play some old school video games. So yeah, it's one of my favorite places. Yeah.
Um,
So about the wrestling, so you're a wrestling fan. So tell us, man, what was the match or the pay per view or the main event that got you hooked?
I want to say back to the Attitude Era. The first one I saw was a TLC match.
Okay.
I was in love back then with like The Rock and stuff, of course, but the tag teams is what did it for me. Like the Christian and Edge, the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys. Um, and then after a while, I got off of wrestling. As you get older, and I got back into wrestling about 2 years ago because my son has become a fan of it. And I was like, oh, he
What?
asked me questions. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So let me get back into it. Like, so we've gotten back into it. We had to watch, I had to catch and watch like old YouTube shows. And he'll be like, they got this move from this person. And I'll be like, no. And I had to like tell him about his history. So um, he knows like of the old wrestlers that I grew up watching as well as the current ones.
Hey, did you get knocked off?
No, I thought from my end you got knocked off.
Okay, all right, my bad. Yeah, yeah, it just kicked me out of the chat for some reason. So I'm sorry. So you were saying that your son, he became a wrestling fan just like you
Yeah,
did, and he said you got to start watching from, you missed out on a lot because you took a break,
yeah,
and you had to watch, which it happened to me a couple of times. So you actually decided to catch up, go on YouTube, which is a very helpful, very useful tool. And you caught up on what you missed, and
yeah,
you said your son stole some move from some
yeah.
other.
Like he would see
That's what.
some moves and be like, "This wrestler did this move," and I'm like, "No." So I had to like put him on to like the wrestlers I grew up on in the Attitude Area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So what was his reaction with the Attitude Era? Because I know that was like a crazy era. I was like, yo, I'm,
yeah. So he has like WWE 2K20, 23. and 22. So like when he picks tag teams, he picks the Usos or he'll pick like the Hardy Boys. Like he
Okay.
loves them.
You're raising your son right. Hardy Boy, you can
Yeah.
never go wrong with the Hardy
He loves
Boys.
high flying moves.
He's like me because my first I don't know how far back I don't know how far back your knowledge goes, but there was a tag team called the Rockers, Marginetti and Shawn Michaels. And that was my first official like favorite tag team. And I just like the high flying moves that they did. So I went from the Rockers to there was a tag team in WCW called the American Males, which lasted like 1 year. And then from there on, I went to the Hardy Boys, then to London and Kendrick. So yeah, he's
Yeah.
kind of like the same. Yeah, the high flyers are always pretty cool, you know. So has he ever gotten to meeting them? And have you ever gotten? So first off, who are some of your favorite wrestlers? So you said you were a fan of The Rock,
Yeah.
and you grew up watching the Hardys and Edge and Christian. Did you ever get to meet any of those wrestlers in person, or just like watching them like from
Nope.
home? Or
No. Just watching them from home. Um,
okay,
I didn't even go to my first show until 2022 when I took my son.
okay,
Yeah. So between that time and this time last year, we've been to 3 live events,
hmm,
but I haven't been to a show prior to.
okay. It happens. So you wouldn't believe it. I'm 40 years old. I didn't go to my first wrestling show until I was 28. 12 years ago. It was a Ring of Honor show. It was my first ever live show I went to. And that same year, I went to my first WrestleMania when I was 28 years old. And I've
Mhm.
been watching wrestling since I was 6 going on 7. So I'm in the same boat too. Trust me. I started going late. I didn't start, and then I started going to all the indies when I was like 29, and just going to like New Jersey because I'm in New York right now, and
Okay.
there was a promotion called Pro Wrestling Syndicate (PWS), and I'd go over there. They were mostly based in Rahway, New Jersey, and I'd go over there every chance I got to go and check out the wrestlers and the events and whatnot. So, and that was when I was like 29, going on 30. So, trust me, I'm in the same boat. So, what was it like going to your first live wrestling event? Were you like in amazement, like you were watching this on TV all these years, and now here it is live in front? Like, what was your mindset?
Yeah, it was unreal. Like I went and I was like, wow, like this is crazy and amazing. Like I was just as excited as he was. Um, it was a lot of things that I noticed watching it on TV and seeing it in person, like the similarities and the differences, but I enjoyed it. And then we went again the week after his birthday in DC where I'm from, and we went to see SmackDown there and he got to see the Bloodline, which he loves. And then we went to an event in July in Raleigh, SmackDown.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. He
Yeah.
must he must be like, yo, I have the coolest mom ever. He probably went back
Yeah.
to school. I have the coolest mom ever. Went to see. I know if my mom did that, I'd be like, yo, we went to see WWE, man. Yeah, my mom is cool. We went and saw, you know what I'm saying? We went and saw like, Roman Reigns and them and John Cena. Man, that's awesome. That's you're like the second person who I've had on the show who has a son that ended up like getting into wrestling as well too. And she's just like us. She's like into the old school stuff, and now
Yeah.
she has a son that he's older. I think he's getting into college now, but he's like he's into wrestling. I think he's aiming to become a wrestling journalist, and I told her, hey, whenever he becomes a journalist, let us know. We'll have him on the show. So that's pretty awesome that you get to share that moment with you and your son. I don't have any kids yet. Hopefully one day, I'll get to share that moment to my son or my daughter. I'll be like, yeah, this is what daddy's into, man. And they're like, and then I could pass on ringside side to them. I'm like, hey, okay, well, you take the ring. Like Vincent, his kids. I'm like, okay,
Right.
well, I'm getting too old for this now, man. Yeah, take it, do whatever you want with it, man. It's your legacy now. I'm done. I'm gonna go sit on a rocking chair and watch some football or something. Yeah. So North Carolina, man, home of the Hardys, home of the Hurricane, and many other great wrestlers that have came out of there. Have you gotten to check out like the indie scene down there? Like any of the
I
indie
haven't
events?
yet. No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Have you ever gone to like an indie wrestling show?
I haven't.
Oh man, you don't know
I
what you're
haven't been to
missing.
one yet. When I found out about one, it was like last minute tickets were sold out. So
You could always show up there. Here's the thing about that I learned about indie shows. They're not like WB or AEW. Like they can say tickets are sold out. I bet if I go and I show up there, I mean, you might have to pay a bit more, but not too much more. Like, okay, well, I'll still pay. I mean, if I want, so you're trying to tell me I can't pay to stand to watch? So yeah, that's why I noticed there's something. But if you ever get a chance to go to indie show, um, I know you're gonna get a chance eventually because you found out about this one. So if you ever get a chance, trust me, check it out. It's worth it. It's different from WWE, but it's a good different. And from my experience, like if you keep on going, it's gonna be like you're seeing family again at this one meeting place. You
right.
know, and it's always like it always has that like it's just different. It's like a different atmosphere. And the thing I like about it is you can actually get to like speak to the wrestlers like in person, like as opposed to WWE or AEW where you have to like wait in line and pay a hefty price. Like a lot of these men and women meet on the indies, it's like you probably have to buy a shirt. You buy a shirt, you'll get a picture with them, and you get to just witness them on their journey. And it's just a great thing to see. So I highly recommend. I hope you get a chance to see it. Um, are you going to WrestleMania this? Are you going to WrestleMania this year? It's in
No.
Philly.
I was going to, but I waited too late. No.
Okay, I was gonna say it's in Philly. It's not too far from
I
DC. You
know,
could.
and I have family in Philly too. I could have stayed at a cousin's house.
So here's what I recommend. I mean, I'm not trying to. I'm not. I'm just suggestion. I
Right.
did it early. I did it last year. I went to WrestleMania in Los Angeles. But I didn't go to WrestleMania. I went to WrestleMania. I went for the independent events. So because I was like I'm at that point where you know because I'm a podcaster, I like to like see what's going on in the indie events and so on. So what I'd recommend if you're down, still go to Philly, still stay at that relative's house, check out the indie events. You trust me, you will see a lot. I actually I'm going to recommend one for you. One CW. My co-host is actually a referee for that. They're not cutting me a check. I'm not getting anything out of this, but definitely check out One CW. They're a good promotion, and you definitely enjoy their shows from what I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, so I gotta ask. So let's talk a bit about. So let's talk about WrestleMania. So I know you watch WWE. We all watch WWE. So what are some matches do you think are gonna happen at WrestleMania 40? I want to hear it from B Gamble. I want to see you take a gamble on this one.
Um, I see Rhea defending her title. I don't know against who. Nobody comes to mind right now.
Okay.
Um, because to me, she's like the female Roman Reigns. She only
Ah,
defends her title special occasions. It's not all the time like how Io does hers or Seth does his.
okay.
Um, hopefully it might be Roman and The Rock. Um, but honestly, in my opinion, I think that if Jay didn't defeat Roman, it would have been Seth before he got his title.
Okay.
Um, and no, probably the tag team titles on the line, but who knows who will have them by then? I don't think
True,
that
true.
they will have them for that long, much longer. Um, I think that Damian will end up getting a title during WrestleMania if he doesn't get
Okay.
one before. But I don't think he'll be a tag team title holder by then.
Okay.
And I don't know. I want to see the Street Profits do something.
Okay.
Particularly Montez Ford. Like I loved him in the Elimination Chamber last year. Like he was awesome. So
Mm,
I would like to see more of him.
okay.
Um, but that's all that comes to my mind at the top right now.
I'm convinced
Um,
like Montez Ford and his wife Bianca, they're like that it couple, man. It's
yeah,
like everybody just loves them, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, he has the charm. Like he has the promo down. He has the moves down. Like if he wanted to break off and become a singles competitor, I think he would do excellent.
I ain't got I ain't got nothing against him and his homeboy
Angela,
Angelo Dawkins. The only thing I want him to stop doing is using all them red cups, man. I can't get nothing to sip my gin and juice in, man. When I go, I gotta be getting black cups or white cups. I'm like, what's up, man? Man, Street Profits done gave us a red cup shortage, man. Yeah, but they good. They're really good though. I'm very happy for their success. To me, like so when you see teams like when you see teams like you got the New Day,
yeah,
they're setting the bar for not just black tag teams but like tag teams in general. And you see the Street Profits, like what comes to mind like when you see stuff like that? Like you got these men representing our community. You got Bianca Belair, who had
yeah.
a very impressive reign as WWE Women's Champion. um as a member of the black community like I am, I mean what what comes to mind? Like what's in your mind when you see that? And then you got Bobby Lashley too doing his thing. Like what comes to mind?
More doors and opportunities being open. Like WWE has become, I feel like in recent years, more inclusive. They have people from different cultures, different languages, different backgrounds, more so than when we were younger, which I love because I love when people come out and showcase their culture through their gear or they speak their language or something like that. It gives kids and adults that are trying to do it like something to look forward to. Like it's easier to see yourself do something when you see someone that looks like you. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing these days, especially me. I started watching in 1990, and I'll never forget when I always look back at one of my favorite Survivor Series 1990. I look at how many like you know how many black wrestlers were on that card.
Mhm.
There was only like one active lead that was actively wrestling, Coco Beware. And the only other black wrestler that was there, he wasn't even a wrestler at the time. He was a bodyguard, Virgil. So I'm like, I look at that then, and I look. I keep forgetting. There was Saba Simba, who was who's also known as Tony Atlas.
Yeah,
And so I'm like, okay, you only have three black men on this card, okay. And then I look at it now and at the amount of events we've been on since then, how it's increased. I'm like, wow, this is really like inspiring, like to see so many black wrestlers getting a shot. We had the New Day a few years ago hosting WrestleMania.
yeah,
That's crazy. So that really like, and then you had Kofi Mania, and to me that was emotional because I never thought that I would ever see that happen, like a black wrestler holding that title.
yeah,
And you could have seen the emotion with MVP and Shad Gaspard. And it's just something that's very inspiring and very memorable too. So you do you watch AEW as well or just WWE?
I watch AEW sometimes. I'm trying to get more into it. They're coming to North Carolina in March for Sting's last match, so we're trying to go to
Okay.
that.
Ooh. Wait, that's where his last match is going to be. Oh yeah, I think they said it
Yeah.
was going to be North Carolina.
Hmm.
Wow, you got to make that. You got to make
Yeah.
that beat. You gotta make that. Sting's
Yeah, and
last
then I
match.
think like 2 weeks after that, Raw comes to Raleigh. So I might be doing those two things instead of WrestleMania.
Okay, fair trade. Fair trade. If somebody, if I was in that situation, I'd definitely be like, okay, I got AEW this week, and then 2 weeks at WWE. Shoot, sign me up, man. Raleigh got it on a lock, man. Y'all just doing it big down there, man.
Right.
Oh wait, you live in Raleigh?
I do.
Oh, you're a lucky one. So look at me talking to you about the pit. You don't know what the pit is already,
I
man.
know about the pit. My cousin wants to come every time he comes down. I'm like, it's to me, it's not all that, but okay.
Okay, so I'm a foodie as well too. What would you recommend? What restaurant would you recommend for some barbecue? If I was like, yo, I got that Jones for some barbecue, some ribs with a side of mashed potatoes and a side of macaroni and some cornbread. What restaurant would you recommend in Raleigh for me?
Honestly, all the good ones that I know of or used to know of are gone. So the pit is like the only thing left.
Oh, really?
So that's why everyone goes to it. Yeah, because we used to have this place in Raleigh called the Barbecue Lounge. And
Okay.
my grandma is from North Carolina, and that's the only place she would go. It tastes like homemade, authentic, but they closed. Like a lot of places
Oh,
closed because of the pandemic.
man.
So
Wait,
I think that's
the boxcar
Boxcar's still
arcade
next
is still
door.
there, right?
Yep, still next door.
Awesome. Okay, good, good, good. Because that's like my main. You'll never believe this. The one time I remembered, this is when I was in the Navy. I was sitting in my barracks room and I was like, man, I feel like playing some video games. And I got up and I booked a bus ticket just to go to Raleigh, booked a whole hotel room
Wow.
just to go play some video games and eat some barbecue. Yeah, that was and I remember one time I went there, y'all had the African American Festival. It was around September.
Mm-hmm.
On that I don't know what street, it's like a big main street though.
Mm-hmm.
But I went there. Yeah,
Probably Fayetteville Street.
yeah, it probably was. There's like a Starbucks along it too. But I went there and I saw that festival. I was like, man, I was like very impressed by it. Yeah. So I just got a few more questions before we call it a show. So um my second to last question. So what was a moment as a fan that you enjoyed? Um like what are your top three favorite moments that you enjoyed witnessing as a wrestling fan? It could be on you at a wrestling show, or it could be something you saw on Raw or SmackDown or any of the other shows. Like, what were your top three moments that you enjoyed witnessing as a
Um,
wrestler?
I'm gonna pick three recent ones.
Okay.
Um, One was when Sami Zayn got the honorary U shirt.
Okay.
I like that one. Um, I love the crowd when SmackDown came to Raleigh because like DC is known to have like pretty like excited crowd. They weren't as excited as they were when they came here for some reason. I don't know, but I enjoyed myself more here. Um, that's to me what makes a live events outside of the um the matches is who you sit around. And
Okay.
um Edge's last match
Oh, you were there for that?
with Sheamus. No, I watched it. That was one of my
Oh,
favorites.
okay.
I
I
wish
was
I was in
about
Toronto that day.
I was about to say, wow, it was
I wish.
man. Shoot. I don't think I've ever been at an event that had a wrestler's last match, like their official last match.
Yeah.
That would probably be something though, but yeah, those are pretty good. I got a feeling that that not Raleigh, y'all got a pretty exciting town down there, man. I think that if more focus is put on, y'all could be a pretty good town for WWE to go to for like some major events and so on. I mean, have y'all had a PLE down there or a premium live event there, or just like house
Um,
shows?
I think just like SmackDown and Raw, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they could do a premium live event down there. I think I know it would sell out because Raleigh's a nice city, man. It's definitely a nice city. So my last question, man, we're in 2024, the Kobe year, as I call it. I'm probably the only person that calls it Kobe year. We had the Jordan year last year, 23. Now we got the Kobe year, 24. So what are some things that you hope to do as a wrestling fan, this year? Whether it's, like buy more t-shirts, maybe travel to another town to see some wrestling. Like what are some things that goals you're hoping to achieve this year?
I do want to buy more merch. Um, I want to go to more house shows. I feel like that might be different. That the stars might be more interactive with the crowd.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. And I guess continue to do my little videos on YouTube. I just do them just for fun, but it's good to like let out everything that I watched.
Okay. Well, if I could give you an advice, respectful advice, keep on
Mhm.
doing those clips. I like to see stuff like that. I like to see fans get more interactive, give their own take on certain shows and so on. Um, I have a guy, good friend of mine, Henny Wrestling, who actually does like, and if you ever get a chance, check him out. He's on Instagram. He is one of the most hilarious people you'll ever find on like Instagram. And I've never smiled so much when I've seen somebody's content. I'm like, this guy, he's at it again. Like one time he has like if a wrestler gets slapped, he actually replays it like several times, and then you hear and then you remember the old song, the Men in Black,
Yeah,
how they have this whole. He'll
right.
play that, and then he'll play the old school song. 'Cause Men in Black is a sample. He'll play the original song to Men in Black, and I'm like, this guy is ridiculous. But yeah, just keep up with the clips, man. I really appreciate them. I'm sure the other fans do. Just keep at it, man. You never know. You could be somebody big. You could end up. I've seen. I mean, you've seen wrestling content creators actually, go on to like, get popular just because they're just doing reviews or doing clips. So I say keep at it, man. Keep at it, sister.
Thank you.
Right. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down right now. I just gotta say, B, thank you very much. And I know you just met. I know you. We just contacted you out of the blue on Twitter. We're just strangers, but we really and truly appreciate taking time out of your busy schedule to shoot the breeze about wrestling and everything. Thank you very much. On behalf of myself and my two co-hosts, Rob Bass and Kathy Net, who hopefully when we have you back, if you're open to it, when we have you back, you'll get to meet them. We really and truly thank you for doing this for us. Before we shut this show down, we let you go. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling or check out your video clips?
So on Twitter, I am just B, and on Instagram, it's I am Danny Britt, and I just upload my content to my Twitter because I don't know that name off part.
Awesome. So y'all definitely heard, give her a follow on social media. Check out her clips. Show some love. It's always great to see our wrestling fans take on a certain subject, topic, show in regards to pro wrestling. So definitely go ahead and give the sister a follow. Show some love as well. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy once again. My stomach is not rumbling because I had dinner, but my eyelids are getting heavy. So that means it may be time for a nap, maybe not. But before I indulge in that activity, if you want to find me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but I do go to a couple of cool places every now and then. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. And you can also find our podcast on social media as well. It's Instagram and Twitter at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. We're also on Spotify, and we're also on Teespring, where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. And we're also on YouTube, where you can see cool interviews like this one, like the one we just had with Jay Lucas and many other great men and women in professional wrestling, whether they're fans or pro wrestlers or referees or promoters. You can find all those great interviews on our YouTube channel. And it's really simple to find us. All you gotta do is go on YouTube and type in Ringside Society. And once you see that really good looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sound, the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. As a matter of fact, just a heads up, tomorrow at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, that's right, this same time, this same place, it's going to be 8 o'clock p.m. for all my people in the middle, and it's going to be 6 o'clock p.m. for all my West Coast riders. We're going to be having the one and only Nikki Heat from Georgia. She'll be on our show. That's right. You just saw us have one of her schoolmates, Jay Lucas, on our show. We're going to be having Nikki on tomorrow. She's going to be talking with us about her journey in pro wrestling so far. So stay tuned for that. All you got to do is subscribe to all our videos, and you'll definitely see that pop up and check out that show. And with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning live tonight. Thank you very much. We really and truly appreciate you tuning in and listening to us. We're one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could, should, and would listen to, and we're not going to stop being that. And to those of y'all that are listening later on, get a chance, thank you very much in advance. And those of you that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like myself at Golden Corral, or in this case, the Pit on Davie Lane in Raleigh, North Carolina, we're not going anywhere for a while. So with that being said, I'm going to say it right now. Happy New Year to everybody. And I'm also going to say it one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the great state of North Carolina. Woo, love that barbecue. And one time for B Gamble. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. We'll be back tomorrow with another impressive guest on another impressive episode. But until then, we just have 4 favors for y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, make goals, stay winning. We're out. Peace.